audience. That's Katie. Here's Susie. And that's my mom. Alright, so have you ever wanted to make fancy cupcakes like you see on the cooking shows, but thought it was too hard for the average person? Well, you're wrong. Today I'm going to show you how to properly decorate a cupcake. Ever since cupcakes became a fad in the dessert industry, I've been highly interested in their creation. I viewed lots of shows, tutorials, even read books that helped me when making and decorating cupcakes, and now I've developed skills that I can use forever. Today I will discuss multiple components of how to make a cupcake. The first being the importance of materials, and the second component is preparation. The last component will be the actual decoration of the cupcake. An important foundation for making a cupcake is the use of suitable equipment and food materials. The first important thing when making a cupcake is the cake recipe. You need something that's just tasty. If your family likes it, it's perfect. The next important thing is your frosting recipe. Now, frosting is probably one of the most important things with the cupcake. You can't just buy it out of a can because that's gross and it does not have the right consistency. So it's definitely worth the extra time and effort to make the frosting. Then the last thing is just the equipment you need. A nice bowl, a mixer to make your frosting, scissors, a spatula, and the most important piece of equipment is your Ziploc bag. Now, I would suggest getting a sturdy bag like a Hefty brand or a Ziploc brand, and if you don't have one of those, then I would suggest double bagging it, because if you don't, your frosting could go everywhere, and that's a disaster, and nobody wants to deal with that. So next I have the preparation portion. So once your frosting is mixed to the consistency, which is sturdy enough to hold its shape, but thin enough that it can be piped through the bag, then you need to use your spatula and spoon your frosting into your Ziploc bag. Now, when you put your frosting in the bag, it's so much easier if you fold over the edges, because it just makes a lot less mess and everything just goes smoothly. So now I'm going to just scoop my frosting into the bag. And there's always a temptation to lick your fingers when you're making cupcakes, but it's really important not to, because you'll spread the germs everywhere. So after you get your frosting in your bag, make sure to zip it up, try to kind of compress the air out. Then get it all to one side, and then you need to cut a tip at the end of it no more than a half an inch wide, because it's really important to cut it smaller at first, because you can always make it bigger, but you can't go back after you get it too big. Now we have the fun part, the actual decoration of the cupcake. So once you have your cupcake in front of you, get your frosting bag and start in the middle, put a little dollop of frosting, and then spiral your way out. And then you just kind of make a little mound on top. All right, now that I showed you once, I'll show you again. So remember, you put a little mound in the middle, then spiral your way around, and keep it coming on top to get a little pyramid of frosting. Or you can do the traditional, boring way that's not going to impress anybody at your parties. And then after you frost them, you can add some fun decorations like sprinkles I have some fun spring-themed ones because we have such nice weather today. Get some, just sprinkle it on there. And you can put it on the little ugly one too. Alright, so now you know how to make the perfect cupcake. And just remember to have good equipment and food materials and to prepare carefully, and then just have fun decorating your cupcake. Alright, here's my audience again, Katie, Susie, and my mom.